Hello and welcome to a very special episode of On Board with Rosie and Peter. I am Rose Kelly, your host.
And I'm Peter Lynch, publisher and editor-in-chief of cruisepassenger.com.au and Cruise and Travel magazine.
Now, today's episode is a genuine trip down memory lane, Peter.
My gosh, do I need platform shoes and flared bell-bottoms, Rose?
Look, why not? I'd never say no. We're actually going to revisit, I should say, parts of the 70s now that you do mention it, Peter. Yeah.
I wish you'd told me, what on earth are we doing going back 50 years?
Well, it's when all the fun happened. So let me just ask you one question. Which cruise line has been sailing in Australian waters for more than half a century and became famous, this will give it away, right around the world thanks to a particular television show?
That's a tough one. I know, Princess Cruises and the Love Boat.
That's the one. The one cruise line that has been operating for the longest in Australian waters. And this year, we're looking back at how Princess Cruises has evolved over these decades, from the days of Pacific Princess and holiday romances in the South Pacific to today's medallion class tech and multi-generational family holidays.
Sounds like a fabulous show, Rose.
Does indeed. Back in the golden age of cruising. Okay, so Peter, when people talk about the golden age of cruising, they're usually talking about the 70s. It really was a completely different world back then, wasn't it?
Well, what would I know, Rose? But it was. Cruising was all about glamour. People dressed up every evening, men in tuxedos or dinner jackets, women in cocktail dresses. And dinner wasn't just a meal, it was a social event.
You've used the key word there, I think, the glamour. It really actually started even before you stepped on board.
Exactly.
Think of the hair flicks of the 70s for
People
a start.
even dressed up to fly. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Air travel was part of the holiday experience. So by the time guests stepped on a princess ship, they already felt like they were somewhere special.
And then along came the Love Boat.
Yes.
Suddenly, everyone wanted to take a cruise. It's true.
It completely changed the industry. Princess became a household name around the world, and cruising went from being something people dreamed about to something families actually did.
This is very true. The Love Boat TV show, I actually feel like it made cruising accessible for the very first time for people right around Australia and around the world. And the soundtrack on board was pretty special
The
too.
soundtrack, yes.
You
hear everything about cruising in those days was very different. And the sound particularly. I mean, take the discos. You'd hear ABBA, the Bee Gees, Donna Summer, Earth, Wind and Fire, filling the dance floor every night. Disco was huge.
But let's talk about the cocktails.
Oh.
I mean, the drinks, right. I know, right? But the names of the dancers, the names of the cocktails, they were out there.
They
and
certainly
that drinks menu, it looked very different back then.
Yeah, instead of espresso martinis and craft gin, people were ordering pina coladas, Harvey Wallbangers, Singapore slings, tequila sunrises, usually at sunset.
That's true.
Half the fun was sitting on deck with one of those great colourful cocktails, the umbrellas, you remember?
As bright blue as possible.
Watching the sun go down,
Yeah. And of course, there were no smartphones. So, what happened on a cruise ship didn't stay on Facebook. There were no smartphones, and so actually people were more present.
That's true. No Wi-Fi, no emails, no social media. People talked to strangers, played cards, read books, made friendships that often lasted for decades.
Heaven forbid. And even taking photos versus remembering a moment.
Oh, yes.
It was a very different time.
It is true. You only had 1 or 2 rolls of film, so every photo mattered. And then you had to wait until you got home to have them developed. Can you imagine? You couldn't check them instantly like you can do today and do it all again.
This is so true. And it seemed like everyone came home with a souvenir.
Oh, yes.
Right? That was the thing to do.
Absolutely. They might have a princess postcard, a captain's dinner photograph, a luggage tag, a menu, or even an embroidered towel.
Oh, the tea towels.
Those little keepsakes would often end up proudly displayed at home and become part of the memories of the day.
This is very true. And what about the dining? Okay, that's changed enormously.
Enormously. Everyone dined together in those days at set times with the same waitstaff every evening. And who could forget the famous Baked Alaska Parade?
Oh, my God.
The lights would dim, the music would start, and the waiters would march through the dining room carrying flaming desserts.
No H&S back then. It was very theatrical, wasn't it?
It was absolutely. You can imagine the smoke alarms would be going off today.
Yep, don't trip with the flaming Baked Alaska. But also the ships today. They're obviously bigger, they're faster, the staterooms all have balconies, there's incredible dining and entertainment. And with the tech, it's all embedded into the ships. The guests have all these seamless experiences. But it feels like the magic of cruising, that, virtual flaming Baked Alaska, that hasn't changed. That is still there, the magic.
It is amazing. The ships have evolved beyond recognition, but the reason people cruise hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's still about escaping everyday life, discovering the world, and making memories. Whether you're sipping a Harvey Wallbanger in 1978 or an espresso martini in 2026.
Well, we do have some fabulous guests joining us in the studio today, don't we, Peter?
We do indeed. We'll hear from passengers who sailed on Pacific Princess in the 1970s, the first Princess ship to sail into Sydney Harbour in 1975.
That's very cool. Plus, a family who recently discovered Princess for the very first time, which will be really cool.
Terrific.
And we're going to be joined in studio by Princess Cruises Director of Public Relations for the Asia-Pacific region, Megan Coffell. Meg's got a few stories of her own to tell, just quietly.
Can't wait to hear them.
Yes. So whether you're a lifelong Princess fan or if you've never set foot on a Princess ship, settle in as we explore Princess Cruises then and now.
Rose, it's time to set sail.
Oh, I think it is. Off we go. Well, Cheryl Butler joins us from Adelaide, and Cheryl's had a wonderful Princess story that actually dates back around 50 years. Cheryl, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you give us a bit of a picture, paint a picture for us about your very first ever cruise?
Yes, it was on the Pacific Princess, the Love Boat, I believe. In 1976, I was 20. And I did have a little holiday romance on the ship.
A love on the love boat.
It was great fun.
What fun.
And what do you remember most about cruising in those days, Cheryl?
Not the security that there is these days.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was very different. Smaller ship. I guess the officers used to socialise with us, with the passengers a lot more. Whether they were encouraged to do that, I don't know. But I never ever paid for a drink the whole time I was on the ship.
Oh my gosh,
that
that's
is
like
a story.
A bit like a drinks package then. And tell me,
Yes, it was. Yes. So
tell me a little bit about the romance.
There was. As I said, we got together with the officers, and they would buy us drinks, and they would tell us lots of stories about their experiences on the ship. I just got to know this one particular guy, and we hit it off. But that was it at the end of the cruise. But it was nice. He was from England, and good company. Excellent. Bought me lots of drinks.
Oh,
my
fabulous. God. Cheryl, I love that you're being very demure about this. This is lovely.
My husband's in the next room.
Okay.
Bless.
But it's really interesting, isn't it? And I think you're right, that 50 years ago, the crew actually did mingle with the passengers in a much more relaxed way than they do today.
Yes. And as I said, it was a lot of fun. They told us lots of stories. and we were intrigued just listening to their stories, and had a great time with them.
No
Excellent.
doubt.
And what was the food like in those days?
Oh, look, this is 50 years ago.
Of course.
I can't remember a lot. I believe we had a seafood buffet up on the
That sounds
deck.
very 70s.
Yes.
A prawn cocktail with the seafood
Yes.
sauce.
Which I don't know how safe that was, seafood up on the top deck in the tropics, but we were fine. Yes.
Cheryl,
fabulous.
I also love the way you mentioned security was different back in the day. You know, I'm just picturing you would have pulled in at Fiji, for example, and then, you know, were there any checks, you know, when you're getting on and off the ships back in the day? Was it just really relaxed? You could just come and go as you please? Things would have been
Yes.
different.
I pretty much, a group of us decided to hop off in Lautoka and drive across the island and catch the ship, because the ship was going from Lautoka and leaving in the evening and going round to Suva. So we decided that we would not go back on the ship. We'd drive across the island and stay somewhere that night.
Oh my gosh.
Go over to Suva the next day. Well, I don't think we told anybody. I can't remember telling anybody.
Could you imagine that happening today? No.
So you could have been a pier runner.
Yeah, we actually, our cars, we hired cars, and I don't even know how we did that.
Wow.
But they broke down while we were driving across the island. Somehow or other we got them fixed, and the place where we stayed in the middle of the island somewhere, I remember the local people waiting for us. It was very late at night when we got in, and they waited for us and had a meal, and even the band stayed waiting for us, and they played for us.
Yeah.
So,
I cannot see that happening today. That's an amazing adventure. And tell me, did you
it
get
was
back to
lovely.
the ship?
Yeah, they were lovely people.
Did you
And
make
Did you
it?
make it back to the ship?
Sorry, what's that?
Did you make it back to the ship?
Yes, we did. We drove on to Suva the next day and hopped on the ship, and no one said anything. I can't remember.
None the wiser. So, Cheryl, I mean, you've painted a fabulous, colourful picture of what it was like back then, but I believe you've remained quite a loyal cruiser since then over the years. What do you think it is that has kept you connected to cruising and to Princess since then?
We love the sea. I just love being on the ocean, and but as well as that, Princess. The ships are always lovely. It's safe for my age group. I feel always safe. The entertainment's great, and the food, and meeting new people, and it's relaxing. No, don't have to worry about cooking and cleaning, and you just unpack once and that's it. So there's a lot of things about cruising that I love.
And it's certainly changed, though, in 50 years. So the entertainment and so can I ask, have the crew changed a lot? I mean, have you seen anyone on your latest cruise?
Their shorts are a bit longer these days, aren't they? Not quite as tight.
No, that's right. No, I haven't. I'm probably not looking, though. But,
Excellent. And is your husband connected to the sea in any way?
No, funnily enough, he's not. He comes from a farm, so he's not at all. But my brother is, and he's single. So my husband's quite happy for us to go along. So he waves goodbye, and so I go with my brother.
There's still potential for more love at sea. You never know what's in the future there. I love this.
And what's your next cruise, Cheryl?
We're going on the Sun Princess, leaving from, it's a package deal. We fly to Paris, have a bit of time there, and then go down to Barcelona, and we're leaving from Barcelona.
Well, Cheryl, I've got to say, I've actually just come back from that exact cruise on the Sun Princess, leaving from Barcelona. You are in for a treat.
Yes,
Oh,
she's
it
a
sounds
magnificent
wonderful.
ship.
You'll have a wonderful time. Oh, we thank you so much for your time today and for painting that beautiful picture for us from the 70s. I hope that you can always have a little twinkle in your eye on your next cruise, knowing what you've been up to in those golden years.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sounds
Thank
magnificent.
you for having me.
Thank you very much indeed, Cheryl.
Bring us some more juicy goss from this cruise, Cheryl. We'll chat to you next time. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, now we've covered the then part of Princess cruising back in the day. It's time to fast forward to the modern day Princess experience of now. Joining us from Melbourne is Deanne Almeida. Deanne, did I pronounce that one correctly?
You did, yes.
Wonderful. We're off to a good start. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Good to see you. Now, Deanne, your princess story is very different. Your family's first princess cruise was only last year. Tell us about it.
Yes.
Which ship and who did you travel with?
Yeah, so we went on the Royal Princess, did the Sydney round trip New Zealand.
Oh, lovely.
14 days. And we were with my mum and dad, my husband, myself, my two daughters, and my sister and her husband.
Oh, right. Did
Oh,
we leave
fantastic.
anyone out of the family? What about Granny? That's a huge family adventure.
And multi-generational cruising, such a big thing now. Did you find it worked really well for your family?
Yeah, look, we had our own cabins. We were like side by side, but everyone could just do what they wanted, and we'd sort of like meet up in at a theatre show or for dinner. Made sure to meet up at least once a day.
And were you all first-time cruisers?
No, we've cruised before with other cruise ships, but we just. As you know, we've booked our next cruise with Princess. So,
Yeah.
Excellent.
so we really liked Princess cruises.
You obviously had a good time. What about your
We
mum and
did.
dad? Did they like it?
Oh, they loved it. Look, they just, it was just a time to just relax. And it was our first cruise in a long time because my dad recently got sick.
Okay.
And so it was, first cruise in a long time with them. So it really, we really enjoyed it.
Excellent.
That's brilliant. And now I believe there was some special occasions that you guys celebrated, a couple of anniversaries. Actually, not even a couple, but a few anniversaries in and amongst the
Yes.
family. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it was myself and my husband. We celebrated 25 years.
Wow.
So it was a big thing. And then my parents celebrated 48.
Wow.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah.
Congratulations.
And my sister celebrated 10. So it was quite special.
And tell us a bit about the celebrations. What did Princess do to make that special?
So on the dates that we were on board, the dates of our special days, if you just walked past any screen and swiped your medallion, it would come up like for myself, it came up Dee and Greg's anniversary, and it would
fantastic.
it would just like on the LCD screen, it would just like have like a celebration
Love that.
theme. So like that whole day, like we're walking past and I'm like just swiping every screen just to see it. And that's what my sister and my mum did as well on
fantastic.
their days.
Did the other guests know that you were a special
I
group?
think they would have by the end
Well,
of the
I was
day.
gonna
That's for
say.
sure.
They did because for dinner on those days we had a special celebration cake or whatever it was. So they would just be singing congratulations to us on board. So they
that's
sort of
terrific.
knew.
I
They
can
knew.
I
Picture
love
picture
that
it
kind of
already.
thing happening.
Yeah, the camaraderie.
absolutely.
Terrific. And did the staff actually know too? So they would have been treating you in a special way, right?
So before, when we booked, we did put those dates in on our apps, on the Princess apps. So on those fine dining dates that we booked, the staff would come up and say, "Oh, we know you're celebrating a special occasion. We'll have something special at the end of your dinner." And yeah, that's how it would be.
Love
So
that.
it
No,
was
there's
quite
nothing
nice,
like
yeah.
celebrating a special anniversary with 3,500 of your closest new best friends on
Exactly.
board a ship. What a
Yeah,
party!
That's
we
fantastic.
did make a few friends.
I can imagine.
imagine.
And did you have a particular favourite restaurant while you were on the ship?
The Crown Grill was our
Yes,
favourite.
the Crown Grill. I
Yeah.
love the Crown Grill myself. Their
Yeah.
French onion soup is really terrific.
Yeah, we tried everything, and I would say that because we had the premier package, so we could eat as much as we wanted to, as many times as we wanted to in those restaurants.
Oh.
And because we have, like, my family has a nut allergy, so they made sure that they had, like, desserts for us.
Incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they really went above and beyond.
So,
yeah.
Deanne, if you had to pinpoint exactly what it was that you loved so much that's made you guys decide to book again, what do you think it was?
Definitely the Ocean Ready app.
Cool.
So you could be anywhere on the cruise and order any meal or any drink, and it would find you. That was like the biggest, especially having at the time, my daughter was 21 and my younger one was 13. My 13-year-old just went crazy with the app, and like she was just enjoying it. Like food was just coming to her all the time.
Oh, that's fantastic. Are the kids coming on your next cruise?
They are, yes.
Oh,
so
you've won them
my
over.
older daughter's 22 and my daughter now is 15.
Right.
And she's like, my 15-year-old is like a big foodie.
Awesome.
Okay.
So she's just waiting to try different.
I get it. I've got
things.
2 teenage girls and, yeah, their eyes light up when you say you can order and have things delivered to wherever you are on the ship. If you've got your medallion with you, they will find you. It's genius.
It's absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
Sounds like Kevin. And it sounds like Princess may have gained a family of lifelong cruises.
Yeah, look, our next one is the Fiji one. That's
lovely.
in January. Sydney round trip Fiji. We've never been. And then fingers crossed, like the year after is my 50th. So maybe like an Asia cruise.
Oh,
I can picture
beautiful.
it now.
That will be terrific. They sail out of Singapore, I think, Princess. And did you enjoy the shows and the ship's activities?
The shows were amazing. We went to all of the theatre performances, all of us as like 8 of us.
Right.
So really enjoyed that, enjoyed the live performances. And we did, I think it was bingo. We did, what else did we do? Trivia nights.
Yes, there's so many activities on board, aren't there?
Yeah.
I'm picturing you guys just really embracing everything on board.
Yeah, and we went to the piazza every night for drinks and music. So it was really good.
I really love those nights, actually. The piazza is a very special place. Deanne, thank you so much for joining us today, and we really hope you enjoy your next holiday.
Enjoy all the anniversaries and Fiji. It's been great to chat with you.
Thank you.
Deanne.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, Peter, our next guest may in fact have one of the most remarkable princess stories that we've ever heard.
Wow. Well, he does, actually. Andrea Magrin has worked for Princess Cruises for 36 years.
Wow.
And today, he is the hotel general manager on board Caribbean Princess. But his family connections to Princess Cruises actually stretch back 60 years.
What?
Andrea is joining us today from the sunny location of Croatia to share his story.
Oh, it just sounds so romantic. You had me at hello. Andrea, welcome and thank you so much for joining us at On Board.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Now, your story really begins with your dad, Ennio. Talk us through that.
It does, it does. My dad worked for Princess for the beginning, actually. Start with the very first ship in 1966, which was called Princess Italia. The ship was built in Trieste, actually, in a shipyard that now is closed, a very small shipyard. And then he worked for Princess for 42 years, so basically all the life.
That's incredible. So while most kids were hearing bedtime stories, you were hearing stories about Princess Cruises.
Not maybe. It was all about ships. It was all about ships, about bedtime stories, but also during dinner time, especially with me and my sister, my mom. Was always stories when my dad was at home, and it was great. It was a great memory. But we went on board when we were I was 4 the first time. My sister was 6. So we saw the company growing. A majority of the people that then eventually move to the higher position in the company, we saw them working on board. So we spent all the life with Princess. And we live in Monfalcone as well, where the ship are built as well.
Well, I can relate to that, actually. I was lucky enough to personally visit the Fincantieri shipyard in Monfalcone back in 2023.
Love your accent, Rose.
Thanks, Peter. I was hoping you'd say that. And that was while the Sun Princess was still under construction. And it really is a very special place.
It is. I mean, we live just 5 minutes from the shipyard as well. And it's amazing, that we saw all the ship. They start to rebuild the ship because the shipyard was closed for many, many years. And they start to rebuild in 1990. And the first 2 ships were Princess. So we were very, very proud about that. The first 10 years, then the shipyard reopened. It was Princess. So it was thanks to Princess the shipyard got the job back and everything. And they built almost 60 ships in the last 36 years between Princess, mainly Carnival Corporation.
Despite having all the qualifications to go straight into guest services, your father had other ideas for your career.
Absolutely. Idea that I didn't like at the time, but I'm glad now because I was young. I had a school. I was ready to go, in a guest service as an officer. And obviously I wanted that, but my dad said, no, you have to start, like we say in Italy, from the bottom. And I started as a system provision master, which was a hard job. Then moving up to all the position in the restaurant, within the galley provision. And I'm very glad now. I'm glad because when I moved to the guest service in 2001, I had all the experience, it was great. It was great to see. Still now, when you walk around, you understand what these guys do every day, and they're doing an amazing job.
And now you've worked your way through just about every level of the hotel operation since then.
So I went to guest service first, then eventually I moved to food and beverage as a junior because you can do junior assistant purser, guest service, and then it's the same department, but food and beverage. And eventually I moved into the rank and became food and beverage director in 2008. And then in 2014, I went to the promotion panel. I was on the Ruby Princess and I took over for the first time as hotel general manager. So that was my 12 years as hotel general manager.
And over those years, you've worked on some of Princess's best-known ships, including plenty of time here in Australia.
Absolutely. And I have to say that is one of me, my wife, and my family favorite place. We've been in Australia so many times. We were lucky to be in Australia with the Sun class before when we started, to cruise permanently in Australia, which we love it. And then with the Royal class, of course, we were very proud to be with the Royal class, beautiful ship. We spent 2 years in Australia with the Royal. And funny how the Royal was my third Royal because I did work on the original Royal Princess in 91, and then eventually in 2008, the second Royal, and then finally the Royal Princess in Australia. And great time in Australia, great memories. Beside my father and all the rest, I met my wife. She used to work for Princess. She was part of the production cast. We met on the Grand Princess in 2004. We've been together 22 years, and she worked for Princess for almost 15 years. And yes, we have Lee and Thomas, our twins, and they start to walk on the first time on the Majestic Princess when they were 9 months. And so they're part of Princess as well. They're traveling with us most of the time.
Well, 3 generations of one family connected by Princess Cruises. That really is extraordinary.
It does. It is amazing. Maybe one of the two will be the next captain.
Now, Andrea, you've watched Princess evolve from the days of your father serving on board Princess Italia through to today's incredible ships like Sun Princess. What do you think has changed the most?
Well, it's changed the most, obviously, the technology and the size of the ship and the way the life on board for the guest, of course, due to the size of the ship and due to the many changes that we have in the last 60 years. But with Princess, something that never changed is the feeling, of being a family on board and the service that I can clearly say that is probably the best service that we can have in the industry. The personal touch, I say it every day, everything that we do, we have amazing, beautiful ship, but our crew are the one that make the difference in the end.
Finally, after 36 years with Princess, what still makes you excited to come to work every day?
That's a very good question. Well, I think the spirit that my dad passed me to work with the guest and to please the guest and to support the crew. And it seems like, something scripted, but it's true. That's the reason why you are still exciting to do this job, and you're lucky also. We are very lucky to work in such an environment. For me, when I see a happy guest and I also see an happy crew, that's make my day, and that's what I'm proud. And I hope, and I'm sure I won't lose this feeling for many, many years. My dad was the same. He was 69 when he retired. They actually forced him to retire. And he was the same. He was the same excitement to work with people day after day.
Andrea, thank you so much for sharing such an incredible family story. It's a wonderful reminder that for some people, Princess isn't simply a cruise line. It's part of their family history.
Thank you. It was great. It was great to share a story, particularly, with in Australia, which is always in my heart. And hopefully we'll be back there very soon. But yeah, thank you. It was great to see you.
Joining me in studio now is the Director of Public Relations for Princess Cruises in the Asia-Pacific region, the one and only Megan Coffell. Meg, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Rosie. Great to be here.
It's so much fun having you here in studio. Normally I see you on board a Princess ship.
Yeah.
But today we're talking about looking back over the last 50 years. I mean, that's older than we are, darling.
Of course.
But as someone who works with the brand every single day, have you enjoyed diving through the archives just as much as Peter and I have?
Oh, absolutely. And it is amazing looking back at all that vision of, what the ships used to look like, the design. I mean, it's fascinating how much ships have changed in that time. But also, the fact that staterooms, didn't have windows, just had the portholes and no balconies.
Peeking through, yeah.
Yeah. And
that's so true.
So not only has the design of ships changed, but also the way we dined, the way we were entertained. Just so much has changed. So it's been lovely looking back at that and now seeing what ships look like today. And I particularly love the way the uniforms were as well.
So this was part of my next question. If we have to really pinpoint watching the footage back then compared to what it's like today, one of the biggest noticeable changes would be the uniforms, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Particularly for, if we think about the crew members back in the day, we're talking knee-high socks.
Yes, I have been working for Princess for 13 years and I've not seen an officer in all whites and shorts and long socks.
Short shorts.
Yeah.
Like
well, not
almost
like
like
AFL.
football stubby. No?
Not quite
Okay,
like
not
that.
quite that
No.
short.
Still respectable. Always been a premium brand, Rosie.
And I've got to say the hair. I mean, you and I, we could have had the flick done a bit more.
More Farrah Fawcett.
That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. A bit more
Charlie's
glitter.
Angels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bit more.
But we do that anyway.
Bit more gloss and glitter, right?
Yes.
Those were the eras we're talking about back in the day.
Well, I think we've all seen The Love Boat or different, iterations of that. And you can even watch it on our ships. That's what's so great. So you can see what it looked like back then. Yeah. And, just listening to your podcast earlier with your intro with Pete, I mean, I think there hasn't really been a huge amount of change with the onboard experience to a degree. You're still looking for the same things. Just the way we dress was a little bit different.
There is that. But you're right. I think we've kept a lot of the best of and the reason why people cruise. That is still the essence of cruising. That is still there at the heart. We've moved with the times a little bit. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can see that. I mean, it's been great not only to see how much dining has changed, but also what menus look like back then.
This is true.
What beef Wellington. That was the go-to dish. And it's
We
changed.
still love a good beef Wellington.
Yes, but not every night.
That's right. There's more choice now. Yeah.
The menu has evolved so much. I mean, there's a lot more fresh seafood, a lot more meat, salads. So I just think we have all changed and also what we expect on a holiday.
You've also mentioned the ships, right? The layouts. Obviously, the ships are getting bigger. They're getting faster. They've got all the technology behind them. But, we've still got the romance. There are still a lot of people who cruise, they have a loyal connection to particular ships, particularly Australian cruises. The Pacific Princess, she almost became a celebrity in her own right.
Yeah. Well, she appeared on the Love Boat TV show, but she wasn't the only ship. It was also the first generation Sun Princess, Sea Princess, Island Princess. So the series was actually filmed on a few different ships over a space of 10 years across the 70s and 80s. And what we love about Pacific Princess is she was the first ship to sail in Sydney Harbour in 1975.
75.
And, they also filmed the Love Boat on those ships in Sydney Harbour. So there's a real connection with the series and Princess.
That's
and
it.
Australia.
It was the real deal. I mean, nowadays you'd be thinking, it's got to be in a studio and that's a fake set. But that was the real thing.
In those days, yes. There's a whole episode called Julie's Wedding and it was shot in Sydney Harbour and Darling Point. So Sydney was definitely a place that internationals visited and Aussies visited as well with Princess.
I grew up watching that show.
Me too.
You too. But then could you have imagined as a kid growing up in Australia watching as everyone did?
Yeah.
But now you've gone on to actually work for the cruise line. How does that feel?
It is amazing. And I really appreciate you asking that question because it is really personal to me.
Yeah.
I used to watch it with my grandparents, not knowing that that's where I would end up working one day.
It's like a rite of passage. Growing up in Australia, you watched The Love Boat.
Yeah, and even to meet some of the actual cast members, from that show was pretty amazing. There's even a Hollywood star on Hollywood Boulevard dedicated to the show and the cast.
I love that.
But yeah, I think the Love Boat was incredible. Like it catapulted cruising to millions of people, 100 countries around the world and made it accessible. Like translated lots of different languages. And I just think it was a nice show. It was a different era.
It did more than that. It wasn't just entertaining. I think what it did is it gave people the idea that they could also access cruising for the first time. That opened the door where people went, hang on, I could do that?
Absolutely, because at that time it was for the wealthy.
Yeah.
And then Princess made it through the Love Boat accessible and you could watch it at home in your living room because you only had one TV back then.
Of
so
course.
everyone was together watching it and connecting. And that, I agree with you. I think cruising, the mainstay is connection.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of it. And it's incredible to think that series really started all, not only just for Princess, but the entire cruise industry.
If you had to actually pick one feature about cruising that you would hope people take away with them, what would it be?
Well, I just hope that they just come away with a surprise, that it's better than maybe what they thought it would be. And often it is.
Yeah.
And, there's just something really special about being on the water and seeing the horizon. And we live busy lives. Yeah. So the opportunity just to enjoy a day at sea. I mean, how great are sea days?
I agree. I
Yeah.
think sea days are some of the best ones because you
Yeah.
get to explore the ship and meet people and have those connections and slow
Yeah.
down, as you've said, and
Yeah.
actually look at the horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the value. Cruising offers exceptional value compared to any land-based holiday.
I agree.
So, I mean, that's in this current day of, cost of living pressures, I think that's really appealing.
I'm going to throw out one other thing that I think I would hope people to experience and take away with them after they experience a cruise, and that is just to still appreciate the history and the story.
Yeah.
And that whilst we might have these fabulous memories of cruising back in the day, you can still make brand new memories by taking a cruise today.
Oh, absolutely. And each cruise is different.
Yeah.
And you'll come away with a different experience. And yeah, thank you for saying that because, here's to the next 50, right?
To the next 50. I mean, we'll still be hitting that dance floor,
Oh,
Meg.
I hope so.
You'll see us there.
I would think so.
For sure. Thank you so much for joining us today and taking this trip down memory lane with us.
Thank you for having me and being on your podcast. It's terrific.
We'll see you in the next 50. Thank you, Meg.
We will.
It has been so much fun having a walk down memory lane today with Megan and Andrea, plus Cheryl and Deanne. We've fit a lot in.
We certainly have. Thank you so much to Princess Cruises and all the guests who have joined us for this memorable stroll. And that's all from us for this episode of On Board with Rosie and Peter.
Thank you so much for joining us. Sign up for our weekly newsletter at cruisepassenger.com.au.
And you can buy our luxury magazine, Cruise and Travel at newsagents now.
We'll see you next time, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.